There are places on Earth where the ground doesn't just hold history, it hides it. Entire chapters of human existence, rewritten or buried so deep that even questioning them feels wrong. And if you listen closely, not to what we're told, but to what's missing, you start to feel it. A quiet, unsettling gap in the story of us. Because what if the past we know isn't the real one? What if civilizations didn't just rise and fall, but were deliberately forgotten? And what if the evidence isn't gone, just hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone curious or reckless enough to connect the dots? Asterisk it started with. Fragments scattered, disconnected, almost meaningless at first. Ancient ruins that didn't quite match the timelines we were taught. Massive stone structures, carved with precision so advanced it didn't make sense for the era they supposedly belonged to. And the deeper you look, the stranger it gets. Like the timeline of human history has been quietly edited. There are carvings in different parts of the world, places that never had contact with each other, yet they depict eerily similar symbols. The same shapes, the same patterns, as if someone or something left a universal mark. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. It feels less like coincidence, and more like a message we were never meant to fully understand. Then there are the stories, passed down as myths, dismissed as legends. Civilizations wiped out overnight by angry gods, cities swallowed whole by the earth or the sea. But what's disturbing isn't the stories themselves, so it's how consistent they are across cultures that never interacted. Different languages, different continents, but the same warnings. And some researchers started asking a dangerous question. What if these weren't myths at all? What if they were memories, distorted over time, but rooted in something real? Because if multiple civilizations describe the same catastrophic event, maybe it actually happened. And maybe it wasn't natural, deep beneath layers of sand and ocean. Structures have been found that shouldn't exist, at least not according to everything we think we know. Perfectly aligned blocks, symmetrical layouts, evidence of planning, and engineering far beyond what early humans were believed to be capable of. But here's where it gets unsettling. Some of these structures predate known civilization by thousands of years, which raises a question that no one seems comfortable answering. Who built them? Because if humanity wasn't advanced enough at that time, then either our history is wrong or something else was here before us. And then come the claims of ancient technology. Not tools or weapons, but devices, descriptions, and blueprints hidden in old texts. Stories of flying machines, energy sources, even something that sounds eerily similar to modern electricity. Dismissed as imagination, until you start noticing how specific some of these descriptions are. It's not just vague storytelling. Some texts describe mechanisms, movements, even materials, in ways that feel too detailed to be fictional. And the more you read, the more it starts to feel like you're looking at a memory of something lost, rather than a fantasy that never existed. The Great Awakening map. That's where everything starts to connect. It isn't a physical map you can hold, it's more like a conceptual framework. A way of linking hidden history, suppressed knowledge, and unexplained anomalies into one disturbing possibility. That humanity's past has been carefully controlled. According to this idea, certain pieces of history weren't lost by accident. They were removed, erased from records, buried under new narratives, and replaced with simplified versions of events, not to protect us, but to control what we believe about ourselves, our origins, and our potential. Because if humans once had access to advanced knowledge, technology, understanding, maybe even capabilities we've completely forgotten, that changes everything. It means we didn't evolve slowly from primitive beginnings. We might have fallen, and that's a terrifying thought, because it suggests that everything we call progress today might just be us rediscovering what we lost, not moving forward, but slowly remembering. And if that's true, then someone, somewhere, made sure we forgot in the first place. There are also anomalies in recorded history, gaps where entire decades seem to be missing, or events that don't quite line up when you look closely. Documents that contradict each other, timelines that shift depending on the source, small inconsistencies, but too many to ignore. And then there are accounts of discoveries that were quickly hidden, classified, or dismissed. Archaeological findings that never made it into textbooks, artifacts that were labeled as unexplainable and quietly locked away. It's not just what we don't know, it's what we're not allowed to know. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Some believe that the suppression of history isn't just about hiding the past, it's about controlling the future. Because if people knew what humanity was once capable of, they might start asking why we aren't anymore. And that kind of question is dangerous, because it challenges systems, authority, and the very structure of society. If knowledge is power, then lost knowledge might be the most powerful thing of all, and keeping it hidden might not be about protecting us, but controlling us. Then a pattern begins to emerge, one that's hard to ignore once you see it. Major historical resets, catastrophic events that seem to restart civilization. And after each reset, knowledge is reduced, simplified, controlled, almost like a cycle. But the twist is that these resets might not be random. Some theories suggest they were intentional, that civilizations didn't just collapse, they were erased. And if that's true, then history isn't just hidden, it's being actively rewritten. Again and again. And the most disturbing possibility of all is this. What if we're not discovering hidden history, but repeating it? What if every strange artifact, every unexplained structure, every myth is a warning left behind by a civilization that already went through this cycle? Because if the Great Awakening map is even partially true, then the past isn't behind us, it's beneath us, buried, silenced, but still there. And the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that we're not as advanced as we think we are. We're just starting to remember. And maybe that's why some truths feel so unsettling. Not because they're new, but because they're familiar in a way we can't explain. Because the scariest part isn't that history was hidden from us. It's that somewhere, deep down, we already know it was.